Good afternoon, and welcome to another quick hit from the Overlap podcast with me, Sid Sexton, and my good friend Keith Kleins. Good afternoon again, Keith.
Good afternoon.
Have you ever heard the term never ruin an opportunity to be helpful in the future?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a friend that's one of his favorite things to say, and I understood it in the context that he was saying, but as I've gotten older, I really, speaking of overlaps, I see it in all kinds of areas of life. And that's really what I wanted to talk about in the quick hit today, is that never ruin an opportunity to be helpful if you can help it. I throw in that caveat because sometimes maybe you're like me and I just can't help it. I got to be right. And it's not a good trait to be. I'm stubborn. I got an ego. I'm like, as Keith would say, fiery. I like to say passionate. But I do try to never ruin an opportunity to be helpful in the future. And where does that play out? Let's take it shallow and then go deep. If you own a business and you're in a business with employees or team members, as I like to call them, inevitably, people are going to leave. We know that intellectually, but when it happens emotionally, it feels like someone's betraying you or rejecting you. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever felt that?
Oh, absolutely.
And
you feel like I've invested so much time and energy and money into this person.
Yeah.
Who are they?
And I've got plans for you. And we had this whole idea. And oftentimes, and this has happened to me a lot, oftentimes this happens after a raise or after more benefits are given or something like that. These things happen. It's strange to me. It's almost metaphysical, like it's an opposite world. Like it shouldn't happen this time, but this is when it usually happens. And I've caught myself getting really wound up about that and thinking that, like you said, who are they?
You take it personal.
I take it personal, and it's not personal.
No, it's business.
I was going to say it is business, but it's not. And here's my take on this, and this is why I started with this. Look, not all of you have to deal with workman's comp, but those of you that do know that it's time-consuming and it's a headache. Insurance in general feels like something that happens to you rather than for you. But partnering with someone that really knows their stuff, like Chris May, with LTN Insurance, you've heard him before on the podcast, offers you the opportunity to regain control of your insurance. By collaborating with Chris, you have the chance to craft a personalized plan that ensures you receive optimal coverage at the best price. At LTN Insurance, their foremost core value is centered on education rather than sales. Their core value actually says, we don't sell, we educate, because they truly believe in empowering you, the customer, with the knowledge to make informed decisions about your insurance. That's whether you do business with them or not. They want you to be informed. So you can trust Chris and look him up, give him a call, or go to the website ltninsurance.com. Number one, these are people that probably left a job and came to work for me or you, and they put their trust, their faith in you, and you were guiding them, training them, and helping them to be successful. And inevitably, if I feel bad about it, they added a good bit of value. I trusted them. I leaned on them. I needed them for certain things, right?
Yeah.
So they were probably a pretty good contributor to the team, right?
Right.
Wouldn't I give to them, invest in them, train them anyway if I knew they were going to leave at a certain finite time?
Sure.
Because I would get more out of them, right?
Correct.
And isn't it true, and this is really the statement that always rolls back through my head, and I say this, I wish we had a counter on this. I'm going to ask Cliff if he ever listens to this, or Austin to get a count on this. This might be Jordan's new favorite thing, and she might have a drinking game out of how many times I mention Zig Ziglar's comment or his statement that if you help enough people in the world get what they want out of life, ultimately you get that. You get what you want out of life.
You do mention that.
I mention it a lot because I think it really hit me at my core. And if you think about it, that's really a foundational basis of pretty much everything I'm involved in with.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna have it a mantra, I think that's a good one.
It's a really good one. If that's the case, if that's one of my core values, don't I want people to just have a good life and do what's best for them? Absolutely. Don't I want that?
Absolutely.
But it's hard for me to see that when they're leaving me. And it's really just causing me some pain and heartache because now I got to get someone else up and going.
Thanks, Sid and Keith, for allowing me this opportunity to explain why Pro 356 Consulting is back. Again, sponsoring and supporting the Overlap podcast. Number one, I just have found that this is a great podcast, that I share your values of the overlap concept, and I have found just so many great nuggets from listening to you guys. Number two is, I remember when you approached me at Hatch about starting a podcast, and I said, hey, that's why we built that podcasting studio at Coastal, and you guys took it up, and here we are. You've done 100 broadcasts, and now you're on the way to 200. And lastly, I just want to say that I just appreciate the way you guys do business, and I want to associate with you. So Pro 356 is glad to be back as a promoter and sponsor of the Overlap podcast.
It's like kids.
Kind of like kids. I was going to just transition in there.
If you want to look at the overlap there.
Hey, go ahead.
I mean, you feel like you invest in these humans.
Yeah. I gave them life.
Yeah. They never like to think about how that happened.
Mm-mm.
But
no.
You invest in these humans for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
And then they don't want to come to Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Don't I want what's best for them?
That's right.
I do. Yeah, it really is. You transitioned right into kids. I'm not saying that employees or team members are our children. That's not what I'm saying. But I do think the overlap is awfully stark. And being a better leader of people helped me really become a better parent. I do way better with older kids than younger kids.
No, me too.
But yeah, the kid overlap is pretty stark because it's tougher to get right because talk about emotional. It's real easy to get wrapped up in emotions because you're living with them. And I want a 15-year-old brain to think and process information and be as mature as the 44-year-old brain that I'm operating with. And I don't pay them. You know what I'm saying? There's not like a scorecard for them with the threat of loss of a job. And I'm not saying I manage with threats like that.
But they do have to perform.
They do have to perform.
At a certain level.
They do have to perform. Now,
that you find satisfactory.
Yeah. But man, kids. So the overlap there, I think really is just trying to have some patience, some love, some tolerance, and know that you want what's best for them. But with kids, sometimes they got to make their own mistakes. Sometimes they got to have the freedom to make some decisions as long as it's not like terrible decisions, and then let them learn. Let me tell you about one of our sponsors, Chris Drogmiller. He's with CMD Fencing. One, I really appreciate his support to the podcast. He listens to the podcast, but long before that, he has done several projects for me at my home, at our business, and the dude just does an awesome job. One of the things I really like about him is it's basically just him and someone that helps him. His attention to detail is phenomenal. The work is always high quality. If you've ever had a fence built, you know that the gate itself and how it opens and shuts is kind of the stamp of quality. It always works well. I've made him make some interesting kind of fencing where it's all horizontal. He had no problems with that, did a great job. And the guy is freaking awesome. He's easy to work with and he does a fantastic job. He's a firefighter, so, he works 2 days on and 2 days off. So he comes in and knocks my project out on the days that he's off. And the dude's awesome. You can find him on our website, overlaplife.com. You can find him on Facebook, CMD Fencing. And his phone number is 901-484-5546. So if you need a fence, need some fence work, call Chris Drogmiller, CMD Fencing. I've been doing a pretty decent job of just giving a little bit of guidance, not pushing it down their throat, letting them make decisions as the older ones are growing and moving in one direction. And then I have seen it takes a few months, but they'll come back around and be like, oh, yeah. They don't directly say you're right, but you start seeing them doing what you mentioned.
I thought I would enjoy saying, I told you a lot more than I really do.
Yeah.
Because with kids or young adults.
Yeah, young adults. That's right.
Every time I have to say I told you so now, it costs me money.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
Yeah. Like with team members.
Yeah. Really, if I lose my cool, if I cram an idea or a process down their throat, if I don't work it in to be some sort of guided discovery for them, then I get a little bit of compliance for a little bit of time, and then ultimately they're going to think it's a stupid idea anyways, and they're going to do what they want to do when the newness wears off. But if I plant the seed, give them some guardrails, tell them the outcome I'm looking for, and then this is my suggested approach, go ahead. They usually make their way to my way of thinking or my way of executing pretty quick, or I get the added benefit. They might have another way of getting to the outcome that I've stated better. That doesn't happen very often, but it does happen, and then I get the benefit of that. That's with team members and kids. Now, do you want to take it one level lower?
Yeah.
Oh, how about your wife?
Oh, God.
Isn't that tough? The more emotional it gets, the tougher it is.
Absolutely. How many times have I forfeited?
That's a great word. That's the best.
The opportunity.
Yeah.
To make a difference because of my ego.
Yeah, dude.
In that relationship, that's where ego shines.
Yeah. Okay, guys, everyone knows if you're a business owner, a business leader, or you're just a person in the world needing help with accounting, you need a real partner. You need someone that's going to listen to you and not just plug numbers in to make their job easy to do your taxes. At least that's what I want. I've been through a lot of accountants in my life, and I have yet to find one even remotely as good as Johnny Baranco. He's the owner of Baranco and Associates, and he's the kind of guy that really doesn't manipulate your books to make his job easier. He really is trying to give you insights into your business or into your financial planning world. Whatever your goals are, he's there to help. And so I just encourage you to give him a call. Baranco and Associates, look him up online. It's barancoandassociates.com and just see if he can help you. He really is the accountant that I recommend to everyone, even before he was a sponsor of the podcast. So please, if you need an accountant, just do yourself a favor and give him a call.
And so many times I have missed an opportunity to make a difference in the person that I'm supposed to love.
Yeah.
More than anything in the world, life, just because I can't get my ego out of the way that I've been hurt in some way, or that I feel sad in some way.
I'm trying to do a better job of this, and I have gotten better, of in the middle of it, taking a step back just briefly and then asking myself, is this a big issue or a little issue? I got into an argument yesterday over nothing, kind of heated. And I stepped back and was like, and I remember saying this, whoa, sorry about that. It's not even that big of a deal. Hey, I support you, whatever you want to do. You just let me know how I can be helpful. And then that's not normal. She didn't really believe me. But
yeah, that happened.
You're just saying that to get out of this. And I'm like, I actually really, not that big of a deal. I thought this way and thought this would probably be a better way of going about that. But ultimately, it's not that big of a deal. So if you want to do, that's fine. It just helped me understand how I can be helpful. And I'm sorry.
However, it really does suck when I'm trying to do the right thing and she says that I'm trying to manipulate because I don't normally do the right thing.
Right?
Yeah.
And that does suck. But if I'm real honest about I've been there too. So if I'm real honest about it, that's my fault too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've used it as manipulation before.
Yeah, that's my fault too. Or I haven't done this enough. So but I do know this, that's the right thing to do. So if I do that long enough, they will know that's my normal behavior and they'll go, oh, well, crap. Because I don't know this. I'm not a psychologist. And please, just hear me out. I think that we get into an argument and we all want to butt our heads to be right. And we'll just keep doing it. And if I step away, I take that away from you or from my spouse, who can be a little fiery and stubborn too. Her family's from Louisiana. They got that in them. And they love to fight and argue and raise their voice. And I do too. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
me
not,
too.
I'm not singling them out.
I love it.
Because it is ego inflating and you just want to win. You want to win the argument. But if I take it away and just go, hey, look, I was wrong about that. Really sorry. It's no. I want to fight. And I just got to stay with it and not get drugged back in the fight.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And I avoid ruining an opportunity to be helpful in the future. Here's what I know. With my wife, if I continue to fight and butt heads against her over little things that don't really matter, if I burn that relationship capital, I'll have nothing to spend or nothing to leverage when it really does matter. And eventually the relationship wears away and I don't have a relationship anymore. If I do that with my kids and I beat them over the head with all of my great and brilliant ideas because I'm 44 and they're 15 or 19 and I just keep rubbing their nose in it and don't give them any space to make their own decisions and learn from them, when they leave my house, they're going to go crazy. They haven't learned discernment. They haven't learned the ability to make small decisions and then make some small mistakes and then learn from those mistakes and develop like I have, like you have, like we all have. Hey there. My good friend Steve Bousquet and his partner, Christine Era, the owners of Green Profit Academy, are super excited about a new product they've got coming out. If you didn't know, they're the authors of Profit First for the Lawn Care Business. And it's a book written by Christine Era. Steve plays a big role in sort of adding to that. But they've got that book. It's already out. But if you're an audiobook listener and you just learn better by listening, they've got the audio version coming out. And I think this is really cool. They've got Christine Era narrating the audiobook, and she does a really good job. I've heard some clips of it. It's pretty fantastic. And Mike Michalowicz, the original author of Profit First, he reads the foreword. And so they've got a book launch that's going to come out on their website, Green Profit Academy, and you should stay tuned for more information about that. They're going to have some giveaways. They're going to have some other special deals going on. But the book itself, the audio book, will come out September 12th. So please be on the lookout for that. And if you need some help with Profit First for your green industry business, please give them a call or look them up, Green Profit Academy. Thanks so much. But I want them to be perfect because I feel like they're a reflection of me or whatever, or I've got some sort of control or whatever. I'm going to ruin the opportunity to actually be helpful, and I'm not building the relationship where they will come and ask me when it comes down to it.
And that is the ticket there. Or that is the quagmire. We, as leaders, business owners, team leaders, parents, spouses, it's really about, and this is where we go wrong when we're missing an opportunity on down the road to be helpful. We're worried about what it does to us.
Yeah.
And not about
or what it looks like to others.
And not about the person.
Yeah. If I'm really trying to be helpful to the person, to the spouse, to the child, to the team member, whatever, I want to just give them some guidance, give them some guardrails, and let them make their own choices and learn from those. I want them to be playing the long game and develop.
I really want to care about and learn, and I'm learning this. I'm not there yet. I really want to care about them.
Yeah.
And not worry so much, what's it going to look like on me?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm getting better at that.
Yeah.
But still it creeps up sometimes where I'm saying, they're making me look bad.
Well, yeah, man. Either way, with my kids, I want to have a relationship where they come and ask me the tough questions. Hey, I'm having trouble with my wife. What do I do about that? Hey, I'm having trouble with my son. You got time to talk? Hell yes, I do. I've been waiting on this for years. I've got a job, and now I get to do this. This is fantastic. Thank you. That's what I want.
I really want to be the person that my son, who works for me, works with me, can come to and says, I really want to go do something else.
Yeah.
And me be okay with it.
I want the team member that's worked for me for 10 years that wants to go back to school to build a different career, says, hey, that's what I want to do. What do you think? I'll be like, awesome. Yeah. Awesome.
And I actually want to be able to give them good guidance without worrying about what it's going to do to me.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe what we're saying is do what's right, even when it's going to be painful for you, even when it's difficult, because it'd be easier for me to yell at my kid and tell him not to do that. It'd be easier to just continue to argue with my spouse and try to win some just meaningless argument. But that's not really who I want to be. I want to be someone that builds relationships, that people trust, that people feel open and honest with, and I have an impact on people's lives. That's what I want. I don't get to do that when I'm ruining the opportunity to be helpful in the future.
Thanks a lot for bringing this topic up. And now I feel convicted.
I hope the rest of you feel convicted like Keith.
If you do feel convicted, hit us in the comments.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Please do. Please do.
Hey, and go to the website. And if you really feel convicted, go buy a T-shirt.
Yes. They make great Valentine's Day gifts.
Yes, they do.
And coincidentally, Keith and I's birthday are around that holiday. So you could, if you ask me to, I'll sign them.
Yeah, I'll definitely sign it.
All right, that's it for me. Trying to keep it a quick hit. Hopefully you are, hopefully that was thought-provoking. And really, Keith mentioned it. Please interact with us on social media. We're doing a better job of being on LinkedIn and whatnot and Instagram and all that stuff. So ask us some questions, and hopefully we're adding value to you, man.
Yeah, our LinkedIn game's been on lately. And that's where we're going to focus. We're a business podcast. That's where you are, or where you should be if you're not.
True.
Go see us there.
All right. With that, I'm out.
Peace. Hey guys, this is Keith. Let me break down a scenario for you. Are you a business owner that is overwhelmed by the options of investing, but you're being told you need to invest in retirement, you need to invest in mutual funds, you need to buy some single stocks? Well, I have your fix. C2 Wealth Strategies, ran by our friend Wes Cody. Their website is c2wealth.com. If you are looking at investing at all and are confused by it, give them a call today. They will be happy to handle whatever you need. He's brought up very specific things that I need to be working on as a business owner in my investing life. Let him do that same thing for you. c2wealth.com, or go to the overlaplife.com page and click on sponsors.